Hi, this afternoon, evening, I am taking you outdoors. Say hello to Sappho. Hi, Sappho. Uh, I don't care, she says. That's okay. I am Malina, of course. I'm gonna turn this camera around so you can just say hello. Hello. And I'm gonna turn you back because this is a bed. This was a bed. It's the bottom of a bed, and I peeled it off to take everything that I find useful. I'm gonna show you how I built, I'm sorry, from scratch. Scratch wood into small projects. And that beginning of projects is my favorite because nothing can go wrong. You're just measuring and thinking and inventing and measuring again and thinking, could you do this? Yes, you could. And you test everything out. And there are no right ways or wrong ways. So I love that. This is already half built. This is some of the bottom of the bed. And these are the lamels. I don't know if they call that. It's called that in Danish. That holds up the bottom where on the mattress rests. So this is my Opel Corsa, and I took out the passenger seat, and it's quite dirty. Don't look at that. And these are some of the lamels. I am cutting them to size and putting them upright with joists in between. I guess it's called joist. I'm going in between to make a frame, and on top of that will be a piece of the mattress floor like the same as this one, and then some pieces of wood going up vertical, and the lid comes on top, so there's space underneath for boxes. And there's a box in my kitchen that I am preparing to be my fridge, and that's and here are all the other lamels. They have nails in each end. I have to take them out, and then I measure the length in the car and saw them to size, and what I saw off can be used as the joists. Now that's all for free. I need a little screw. Up, go. I need a little screw here and there, or a little nail, and that I have to buy, of course. But that's about it. And this you see in the background is another little project that I am a little project. To me, it's quite a big project. I'm building a woodshed because I found these roof tiles, really old ceramic roof tiles that are, wave roof tiles that go one over the other and creates a fantastic roof. Heavy roof. But I wanted to build with them because I never tried that, and I was thinking, what am I going to build? And I needed a place to store my wood, so I have begun that. And yes, it looks a little ransacked and it looks a little unstable. That's because these sticks that are on, they are just temporary. They were just my helpers to hold the beams up when I fastened it a bit more. And that's because when you're on your own, you only have 2 arms, 2 hands. Sometimes you need 3 or 4, but you don't have it. So you gotta invent a third and a fourth arm when you work on your own. So what you see in the background of this is a pile of beams and boards. That is my friends and neighbors' old garage. They were tearing it down because they were building new, and they said, would you like to have the scrapwood? Yes, come, give me. And of course all these are trunks from the forest that I've carried home. I am allowed to go and pick those little leftover trees when they've been felling in the forest. I have an agreement with the owner that I can go and pick out what I can carry on my shoulders. So I carry home a lot of trunks and bigger branches. And yes, then I put them to good use. Now, why am I building my opal into that? That's because I'm going to Denmark to work for 2 months to make my annual living. I do that in 2 months. And I don't want to live at people's houses because it's a burden to have someone live there for that long. So this year I'm gonna try to live out of my car. And rebuilding your car, until a few days ago it was just the car, an Opel. But now she's getting personalized, so now she's Opelina. So Opelina and Safo and I are taking off in 4 weeks, so I have to finish building her up, and then we get here. It looks like a scrapyard. It is more or less, but this is something I've saved. These are the drawers from a big drawer. All the box around it was bad and was scrap, and I took it apart, and some of it I can reuse. But these drawers, I took off all the golden handles and all dilla and I can use these for shelves. Just an extra board in the middle and up against the wall as shelves, because I can't have anything sticking out from my walls too deep. So these are very, what do you call that, shallow? So they're just out in, 14 centimeters? I don't know the inches, you can do the math. And yeah. And so everything is getting used and reused. There are a few sheets of stuff here, and they're gonna be sanded down. They're the very thin walls of that drawer, and they're so nice. It's good wood. They're old, and that means that they're made from high quality wood. And they are gonna come into my house. I don't know if this is too dark, but in here I have a table and I have a sink, a basin, and there are just these stupid drawers in front of that. Curtains in front of the water bucket and the pots in there. And I'd like to make real wooden doors in front of there. That would look cool. So these are a few of the projects I'm into, and that's just a little show of how I try to use scrap wood to, I guess it's called upcycle, isn't it? But I need it for small projects, and I need to not spend any money on buying materials. So that's my kind of upcycling. That's all for now. See you on the next one. Bye.